Here we have the Ocean Signal Rescue Me MOB2, and in this video we'll walk you through how to retrofit it into this Spinlock 60 safely and correctly. We'll show you the standard method for jackets with separate bladders and advise on what to do if it is welded. This guide is based off of the official manufacturer's manuals and best practices, but always confirm against your specific unit and life jacket model. Let's look at each component. Starting with the MOB2, we have the activation slider, the arming tab, protective cover, antenna rewind tool, the ribbon, the lanyard, and also the bracket. As I mentioned earlier, you need to make sure you are fitting the beacon in the correct way to the correct bladder type. This 60 has a separate bladder, meaning we need to use this ribbon to route the MOB2 around it directly. If the bladder is welded or bonded, you cannot route the ribbon around in the same way. In that case, you'll need an adhesive patch or a fitting kit to affix a loop or tab for the ribbon to catch. After checking what jacket you have, we will deactivate the MOB2 before proceeding. It's important to always work with it in a safe state. Be careful, the MOB2 will activate when removing or reattaching the grey slider. Ensure it is turned off immediately by pressing and holding the test off key until the red LED light flashes twice and then release. Now you know what not to do and have become familiarised with the product, this is a step-by-step guide on how to fit it. Push the red arming tab down. Remove the grey activation slider. This will deploy the antenna and arm the device. Remember to keep it away from your face. And immediately deactivate by pressing and holding the test off until the red LED light flashes twice and then release. This ensures the product is in a safe, non-transmitting state like I mentioned earlier. Pass the cord through the antenna winder and tie a figure-of-8 knot at the end to prevent slipping. In our demonstration, we do not thread the cord through the MOB2. This is to display the order of the other components more accurately. However, follow the demonstration on screen to secure the unit. Next, pass the cord through the protective armed cover and then secure the grey activation slider approximately 30 cm from the free end. Place the antenna end cap into its recess in the MOB2 unit. Thread the antenna rewind tool through the hole on top of the MOB2 and seat it over the antenna and cap. Rotate anti-clockwise until the antenna is fully wound and flush within the unit, but don't remove the tool yet. Next, we need to attach the activation ribbon to the activation slider. Pass the ribbon down the inner slot in the grey slider. Next, pass the ribbon up through the outer slot in the grey slider. Pull the activation tape through the slider to leave around 2 cm free at the end. Pass the other end of the ribbon across the underside of the slider and pull tight to trap the ribbon to the slider. Push the grey activation slider into place, ensuring the ribbon lies flat, remembering that the MOB2 will power on here. Immediately deactivate after this again, once the slider is in place. Remember to test off until 2 red flashes. Remove the antenna winder, letting the antenna rest behind the grey slider. Slide the red arming tab upwards to lock the antenna slider into place. Confirm both sides of the slider click in fully with no partial insertion. Fold the bladder behind the oral tube to gain access. Clip the MOB2 into the bracket, being careful not to trap the ribbon between the device and the bracket. Wrap the activation ribbon around the widest part of the bladder behind where the MOB2 will sit. This ensures sufficient force on inflation. If there are any whistles or lights attached, reposition them to sit above the MOB2 bracket. Again, ensure that the ribbon is wrapped around a substantial bladder section, somewhere that is not tapered. Feed the tape up through the innermost slot on the side of the oral tube bracket. Loop the emerging ribbon over the attachment point and feed back up through the outer slot. Feed the tape back down through the innermost slot so that it emerges at the same point it originally entered. Pull the ribbon snugly but avoid over-tightening so that the inflation force can pull it. Test for tightness by ensuring you can place your finger between the tape and the bladder. Slide the oral tube bracket as low as possible on the tube itself. This helps the ribbon encircle the largest bladder section. Tether the MOB2's lanyard to a fixed point on the jacket, ensuring it does not prevent inflation. The manual recommends tethering it so it won't be lost and can be used again. Once the MOB2 is fully attached, it is ready to be armed. Slide the red arming tab down. A protective armed cover is provided to protect it from accidental activation. After arming, fit the protective armed cover into the slots. Double check that the MOB2 is properly tethered, the ribbon is correctly routed with no twists or pinches, and the protective cover is in place. If it all looks good, your MOB2 is now integrated and ready. Repack the jacket following the manufacturer's instructions with MOB2 positioned at the top of the bladder facing outwards. That completes the retrofit of your MOB2 into a Deckvest 60. If your bladder is welded, follow the alternative method with the patches or bonding and confirm it meets the manufacturer's guidance. Though this video is highly accurate, your unit's manual is still the final authority. Always cross-check before performing any installation. Both the Lifejacket and MOB2 are available to purchase from Marine Superstore online, and we'll make sure to link the products down below.